Are you struggling with what to wear because it starts off cold in the morning, heats up in the afternoon, only to chill off again in the evening? Yeah, you are not alone. I totally feel you. This is quintessential trans-seasonal weather, and there is a way to dress for it that will help you feel confident and comfortable. So let's dive in. Hello everyone, welcome to Stylecast. I'm your host and style coach, Greta Eagan, and today I'm going to be doing one of my styling session videos. So we're going to get into how to dress for this transitional season time. So we're going from late summer into early fall, or what we might call pre-fall, and it is tricky because the swing in temperature can be quite extreme, not to mention that there might be a thunderstorm or two in there. So I want to give you the tools, and essentially I've created a capsule wardrobe where these 10 pieces will literally give you what you need, the toolkit to build outfits that will work for this time of year. Okay, so my first piece is actually just a category, denim on denim. So it really is just about having your full length denim jeans here, and you may have been wearing cropped or even distressed, maybe with some rips or different things during the summer, and that's awesome. But now, as it's starting to get a bit cooler, you do want to go for a full length denim jean. And I would also say pair that with a denim jacket. The whole denim on denim is very trendy. It kind of nods into the Western motif that we have been seeing, and it's not going anywhere. And I actually think that it's the perfect combination, the perfect weight for this time of year. So I just have this styled up with denim on denim with my denim jeans and my denim jacket and a little tank underneath. I do think the accessories also go a long way, and this is kind of a preview for what's to come. Choosing those sort of ballet flats and loafers, even like the mesh ballet flats, these kinds of shoes that are covering your toes are going to be the perfect option for this time of year. So I did style it here with a little pair of loafers, and I do want to emphasize that I did keep that tank on underneath because it might heat up during the day, and that way I can take the denim jacket off and the outfit still works and it still feels totally appropriate. I also want to mention that I'm glad that I chose a lighter colored suede shoe here, because again, this colorway is leaning a little more summery than straight into fall if I had chosen even say like a burgundy, which I know is going to be so popular for the fall. So these are just a little tips to help you start to create and think about your outfits at this time of year. My next piece is the midi dress, and not just any midi dress. This is the drop waist midi dress. We have been seeing these around for a while, and they are still very in fashion and still feel very fresh, like a modern way to wear a dress. And because of the drop waist and because of the full skirt, it actually is a great option for this time of year. So here I'm styling it with a pair of mesh ballet flats. And so I do want to mention, again, footwear here being a key priority, the covered toe, but I do want to highlight the mesh ballet flat because that is a great option here as well. We aren't seeing enough weather here to warrant something that might be more waterproof and offer a little more warmth. So this is actually the perfect shoe for this time of year. And of course it is very fashion forward, so it is going to make your outfit feel a little bit more modern and up to date. And then I just paired a blazer over top and a black bag to tie in with the dark shoe. That's a good tip if you guys have these different pieces in your wardrobe. Sometimes if it's looking tonal and it's working, but then maybe one accessory is in a different color, bring a second accessory in that same color, and then all of a sudden you have a beautiful marriage and the whole outfit works. The next piece that I want to highlight is a knee-length boot. So it's not over the knee, but it does come up and cover the calf. Just hits right below the knee, and there are a lot of different takes on this style right now. There's a slouchier version, which is going to be very on trend for the fall, but if you have a pair in your wardrobe already like I did, this pair is going to be that perfect boot that you can reach for as you go from the summer into the fall. And it might seem a little counterintuitive because this boot is a bit taller. You might be thinking, well, wouldn't you do like an ankle boot? Because you can show more skin. But the truth is you actually want to use the boot to give you a little bit more coverage and lean into those shorter lengths of your skirts. It's a good way to get around having to wear tights just yet, because you are getting the coverage from the boot versus having a bare leg that you then need to put a tight on to cover. So I wanted to highlight this boot in particular and this length. And I love how I was able to pair it with my mini skirt and get a little more life out of that mini skirt for the season. And then I just topped it off with a suede jacket and a black bodysuit underneath. Again, I'm doing a little bit of an intentional color sandwich here where I have the black boot, then I have the suede skirt, and then a black bodysuit. So it's really helping balance the footwear with what I have on top. Next, I want to talk about your knit tees and tanks being the hero pieces of this transitional season. And what I have found is that this is the perfect time to pull them out because they can stand alone. They have a little more warmth than a regular tee, but they aren't quite warm enough that you are going to be reaching for them later when it turns to true fall. So this is the right time to bring them out, and they just look really classy. Like, I don't know if you guys have these in your wardrobe yet. I didn't for a while, and then I started investing in a few of them. And what they do is they just up level everything. Because it's a knit, it just has a little bit of a more refined feel, so it can elevate your look just really instantaneously. Looks so good with jeans, and that's how I paired this one here. So I just have this little cardigan sweater tee, and I paired it with a pair of jeans, full length of course, and I did also do my boot here, which I showed you earlier, so you can start to see how all these pieces play super nicely together. I'm essentially creating a capsule wardrobe that you can live in for the next few weeks. This next look is very similar to the last one. I'm going to be focusing on the jacket here. So I started with a knit tee, which we talked about, and then paired it with a pair of jeans. These are my barrel style jeans, which feel really current. And I did do just a little bit of a roll, a little cuff at the end to show the ankle just a little bit more. And then I paired it with the pair of these loafer slides. And I do want to mention the loafer slides as well, because they are just like the perfect piece for right now. Covered toe, open back, suede material. You don't have to worry about it getting wet. We're not quite into that weather yet, although there are some showers here and there, but it's really just like the perfect shoe for this time of year. So if you have been thinking about trying it out, this would be the time. And then I did finish the look off with a couple of different jackets. I want to show you how they both work. One is to go for a bomber, like a wool blend bomber jacket. Now, this is probably something that you have in your wardrobe from last year because they were so popular. And if you do, kudos to you, because you are going to be using it a lot during this time of year. And you can see it just adds a little bit more warmth. It's lined, it's made of wool. You might have had some other jackets in your wardrobe that were of a lighter material. Even the denim jacket, it's not quite lined unless you have one that has maybe a little shearling lining, so it won't be quite as warm. So this is going to be kind of like your warmer jacket as we move through this season. And then I also did want to highlight the suede jacket, because that piece has been just an amazing mainstay throughout the summer for me, and definitely into fall. And the brown color, I should mention, is definitely here to stay. So if you have that in your wardrobe, it's a really good time to incorporate it and keep leaning into that trend. But I do love this sort of crop style. It gives you a little bit of a different style than the bomber, but it still gives you a lot of optionality for this time of year. This next look and piece is one of my favorites, and if you have seen our Jackson Gem video with Penny Lane, you will see it featured there. I just had to take it home. I brought it home from that shoot. And this is the silk midi dress, or even a silk skirt. So these are things that we've been wearing for a while and styling in different ways. I love the texture of silk moving into fall or in this transitional time, because it is such a beautiful flowing fabric. This color, this sort of pistachio minted green, so beautiful, so of the season right now. And what I did is I actually put a oversized shirt on top, my blue shirt, and then I belted it. And then what I did is I actually put over my army green oversized jacket. And I actually really like the way it kind of brings everything down a little bit. And then I paired it with a pair of new suede slides in a green, like an olive green color. And again, all of these hues playing with each other so nicely. It feels very fall, but not too far. Like, we still are seeing skin. The brightness of the sort of pistachio pastel color is really beautiful. So this, you can tell, is one of my favorite looks and such a good way to get a little bit more mileage out of those slip dresses and skirts that you might have in your wardrobe. This next look incorporates two of the key pieces we've been talking about, your full-length jeans and the ballet flats, and especially the mesh ballet flats if you have them in your wardrobe. And now I'm bringing in another staple piece I want to highlight, which is the fitted sweater. So I've sort of alluded to the fact that fall, you get into those chunkier knits and they're warm and they're cozy, and that is great. But for this time of year, you actually want to stay a little bit slim and do a lightweight knit, sort of like actually what I'm wearing here, where you are retaining sort of this like shape and structure. It looks really good with a pair of jeans or with a skirt, and it's going to be a little bit more lightweight. And then you can layer over with some of these other more lightweight jackets, and they are going to work perfectly together. So this is another look that I think we will be sporting nonstop. You can see here I have a fitted sweater that actually has a little bit of a cutout in it too. So again, I'm sort of leaning into these pieces of design that I'm not going to be able to do later when the temperatures drop, but for the time being, when it's still sunny outside and the air is a little bit crisp, but the sun makes you feel warm, this is going to be the perfect layer. We've made it to the last look of the video, and this is all about your leather bottoms. So it's either trousers or skirts. They can be a long skirt like I'm featuring here, or it could be a mini skirt, or it could be, like I say, trousers or sort of like a denim pant that maybe is a little bit cropped. You could even do a culotte. Like, there's so many options here, and now is the time to wear that leather in a way that is really going to help transition into the fall feels. What I did here is I actually paired it with a tank knit. So we're here again, we are highlighting using a knit tank versus just a regular sort of cotton tank, a little bit more warmth and a little bit elevated. And then I paired it with, now this is kind of a bonus piece, I paired it with a cropped trench. These, again, also were having quite the moment last season, so if you have one in your wardrobe, it would be a good time to pull it out. I tied it in the back. I tied sort of the belt part of the trench in the back and then pushed the sleeves up to make it a little bit more relaxed. And then I did pair this with my belt, which is in kind of like a slate kind of gray brown color. And then I also opted for a brown shoe. Now this is, again, more of that sort of boat shoe moccasin, which I am so loving, and I cannot tell you how comfortable these shoes are. I'm going to be living in them this whole pre-fall season. And what I do like is I like that these are brown versus black or any other sort of color. I think that the brown and the black look so beautiful together. It's such a nice pairing, and the brown sort of softens the look a little bit and makes it more appropriate for this time of the year. So here, if you have been waiting, is the bonus look. I actually wanted to show you, so if I did pair this outfit with my boots, which you might be thinking would be a great pairing, and it is, that's gonna lean definitely more fall. And you can see here that I have the boots on, and I did take my belt actually and put it on the outside of the jacket, which is a really good way to sort of cinch in your waist and create that sort of oversized shoulder reverse triangle look that is going to be very popular this fall. So you can definitely already lean into that a little bit, but I wanted to show you how this look is definitely much more fall than how I styled it originally. And you can see just, these are all the same pieces, styling them just a little bit differently, but really making good use of them for this time of year. This next piece you have been seeing styled throughout this video, and it actually is all about the ballet flat or the loafer. I would say if you have the mesh option of a ballet flat or loafer, that would be amazing for this time of year. So I'm just gonna quickly show you with some of the looks that I've been showing previously, the ballet flat in action. So you can see I have a mesh one, and I love this one for this time of year. It was a piece that I invested in a few years ago now, and it's still going strong. I think that they're really elegant, and they're actually the perfect piece a lot of the time. So if you don't have a mesh ballet flat, you might want to consider it. A regular ballet flat would work just as well. I would say if you can do it in a lighter hue, that might help. So maybe in sort of a tan color, or even red has been really fun. I know some people have been getting into that. And then I would say if you have a loafer or a boat shoe, I think it's just about finding one that fits with you, your style, and your wardrobe, what you have already in your wardrobe, the color that you pick for it. So I would say if you can, like a tan color would definitely be a go-to. I have these here that are sort of like a mule loafer style, and I love that. And there's also the brown trend to lean into, so you could go for a boat shoe or a loafer that's in a nice deep chocolate brown. And the last one that I am loving is this sort of olive color. And I think we're gonna see a lot more of that in shoes. We'll also probably see a lot of the burgundy, and that'll definitely move us into fall. But if you sort of wanna stay on the transitional side, I would opt for that olive color. And as you can see with my wardrobe palette, it is the perfect fit. So hopefully you guys have something like this in your wardrobe, and if not, it might be a piece to pick up. Okay, my lovelies, that is what I have for you today. I hope that it's been helpful. And as I mentioned, these pieces you should be able to find in your wardrobe. And if you see something that you don't yet have and is really going to help you in this transitional season, then it might be worth picking it up. I'll have everything linked in the description box below. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.